Hi, David. It was really nice meeting you today. Oh, the pleasure is all mine. I was wondering what kind of man Cynthia's little sister decided to have as her boyfriend, but I think I don't have to worry. It looks like she's in very good hands. Aw, that means a lot to me. I actually venture to say she doesn't deserve you. She's always been a bit too prideful. So make sure she doesn't get too carried away, okay? She might find herself upsetting the wrong person. Oh yeah, trust me. I know she can rub people the wrong way, but I promise you, she's a very sweet person. I've been with her long enough that I can just tell. That's good. I think you can be a really good influence on her. Of course. And she'll inspire me to become a better person too. Relationships are supposed to work like that, right? After being married for a few years, I can safely say that, yeah, my wife helps me strive to be my best self every day, and she tells me I have the same effect on her. By the way, speaking of marriage, when are you planning to put a ring on it? Well, this weekend, actually. Wait, what? Really? Yeah, I've been planning it for a while now, but wanted to at least wait until we met each other's family. Now that that's settled, you know? Oh man, congratulations. So you're going to propose to her this weekend then? Yep, that's the plan. I'll be shopping for a ring tomorrow. That's exciting stuff. Be sure to let me know how it goes. I sure will. I can't imagine she'll say no. You're a great guy. Don't worry, she's been hinting at it for a while now, so it shouldn't be too shocking. Cool. Also, I hate to cut things short, but I'm falling asleep on myself. Oh, yeah, that's no problem. I should probably head to sleep soon too. See you later.
Hey, David! You know tomorrow is going to be my wedding day, right? Finally! Well, you better have remembered or else I'm going to be majorly annoyed.
Oh, yes, I know. I'm super excited. I know Robert will be just the man you need in your life. He seems very dependable.
As if anyone asked for your opinion.
Right. Well, Cynthia is also looking forward to the wedding too.
Woohoo!
We can't wait to celebrate it with you. Weddings are such a special, once-in-a-lifetime occasion. We're really happy for you, and that you'll have the opportunity to have one of your own.
Just because you guys are already married doesn't mean you get to try and one-up me. You're not special. Besides, my wedding is going to be completely different than yours. In comparison, your wedding will look like nothing more than a lousy party. That's how spectacular and luxurious ours will be. The venue is amazing, and all the guests are super rich and important. It's going to be the celebration of a lifetime. If it wasn't for my wedding, you'd never be allowed to even be on the premises of such an amazing, luxurious venue. It's out of your league. But I'm sure you guys are already well aware of that. Well, here's to hoping you guys learn your place once you get to witness what a true wedding should look like. You don't get to condescend to me anymore.
I don't think that's really true, Tammy. I think you're going a little bit overboard and being kind of rude.
As if. I'm just telling you the truth. What, do you really think so highly of yourself anyway? Don't be so vain. You're so pretentious and arrogant.
Tammy?
You guys weren't even supposed to be coming to my wedding in the first place. You don't deserve to even step foot in such a luxurious venue. You'll mar the whole place. You and your wife are both high school graduates with no college degrees whatsoever. And you haven't got any other qualifications. You guys are a couple of losers who haven't amounted to anything. Isn't that right?
Come on now. That's all super uncalled for. I don't think you need to talk to us like that.
Why? I should be allowed to talk to you guys however I want. That's how beneath me you are.
No, it's unnecessary to treat us like that. Cynthia worked hard to support your sick, then single mother who wasn't able to work, and she was only a high school graduate at the time. I'm sure you remember this, don't you? And she even made sure to pay for your college tuition and all the costs associated with it. So you should be thankful to her. You're lucky that she made the effort to support you in your career like this.
So what?
Huh?
I didn't even ask for her help. So why should I be showing her any gratitude? She just decided on her own that she'd help me out. That's not my problem, right? So why should I thank her? I really don't see why I'm being told to show thanks for that. It's a bit stupid.
So, yeah, you're not required to show gratitude, but it'd be nice if you could show a little bit of thanks and be a little more grateful to your older sister who has worked so hard for you. Or at the very least, you shouldn't be so obviously looking down on her. That is the bare minimum.
Oh, really? Is that what you think? I don't know. I think it should be the other way around, really.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, think about it. It's Cynthia who should be showing thanks to me.
Oh. Care to explain to me why you think that way? Because I don't see it like that at all.
Well, unlike Cynthia, I am a college graduate working at a very important and influential company. I'm one of the elite, if I do say so myself. Having a younger sister who's as accomplished as I am means that you can brag and show off about me. And you can also gain prestige through my position. In other words, she gets to ride behind on my coattails.
I haven't thought about it in that way at all, and I haven't considered showing off and boasting about it too. Cynthia's the same way. It's not really the type of thing we enjoy doing. We prefer to be humble.
Huh? That's stupid. Why don't you think about it like that? I mean, you should be bragging about me and my successes. They're so worthy of attention that just being associated with me will bring you higher status. I mean, I guess we're not related by blood, but we are in-laws, and I'm so successful. You might as well take advantage of that to brag all you can.
Well, sure, but the only major success you have to speak of is your educational background, right? And if you think about it, that's thanks to Cynthia, isn't it?
Excuse you? You're acting like it's a trivial thing. Do you have any idea how hard I work to get it? Not that it matters. Having any sort of education past high school is more than I can say for Cynthia. Having this to brag about is miles better than whatever pitiful thing she's ever accomplished, which is like nothing. She's nothing more than a high school graduate. It's pretty sad, you know? We share the same blood, so maybe if she had actually tried, she could have amounted to something more than this. But alas, she's just your average plebeian. Honestly, it really is a pity that you two don't brag about me. I have so much success, and I'm constantly in the presence of other elites. What else can Cynthia brag about than be associated with me? Nothing, really. And especially not you, as a fellow high school graduate.
Well, like I said, she's just not the type of girl who brags in the first place. It's not in her nature to be that way and is overall a very humble person.
Boring!
Anyway, you should know that if you're always bragging about things, it can put other people off. Confidence is one thing, but being overly boastful is not a very attractive quality in a person. It's not really what a mature adult does. I think you should already be aware of that, though.
Yawn! You guys really are super boring. It's pretty sad if you ask me. You guys need to get a life and be more like me. Poor people don't give themselves any room to boast, do they?
Well, that's because boasting and bragging all the time is not necessary. Having confidence in your skills and abilities can be attractive, but if you're constantly bringing them up, it starts to come across as insecure or obnoxious. It's not mature behavior. You're about to be married, so you ought to know that by now.
Oh, is that how it is? Fine. Do what you like, but you better get me a good wedding gift. Got it? I'm expecting nothing less from you. You guys are family, after all. And don't think you can get away with giving me a cheap gift shop item you found for 50 cents. If you don't get me a good wedding gift, I'll kick you guys out of the venue before you can even blink. I'm just warning you all now in case you try to brush me aside.
Well, since we're coming as a couple, we'll just be giving one gift from the both of us. That's how it works, right? I thought that something worth about $800 from us would work. That should work for you, right?
Huh? Are you serious?
Is that a good or a bad reaction? My parents said that around that amount would be pretty good for a wedding gift, and Cynthia and I agreed.
Are you messing around with me or something? I can't believe this.
No, I'm being serious here. What's the matter? I thought this was a totally acceptable amount.
No. I just told you this was going to be an event full of wealthy and high-profile guests. Were you not listening this entire time? It's an event by the elites for the elites. Do you understand?
I mean, yes, I'm aware it's supposed to be spectacular.
The wedding venue is in a very upscale part of town and is absolutely luxurious, fit for kings and queens to host their own ceremonies at. It almost makes you mourn the fact we got rid of the monarchy in this country all those centuries ago. And yet a gift worth a measly $800 is enough in your eyes? That's the best you can come up with.
$800 is a life-changing amount for some people.
For a couple of poors, maybe, but not for us. A wedding gift of that value is definitely not enough. You should realize that. This is totally unacceptable. You need to do better than this. Got it? I'm not having this nonsense. If you don't get me something better, I will not be allowing you to come to the wedding.
Okay, easy, okay? Please, calm down.
No! You need to understand the gravity of the situation.
Well, I'm not a mind reader, and clearly my research has been flawed. So tell me, how much would be an acceptable amount for you?
Don't ask stupid questions like that. Why should I have to tell you? Think about it yourselves. It's not my job to do that. It's my wedding you're celebrating, so I shouldn't have to do any hard work like that.
Because I did ask people around me, and they said the amount I told you was good enough.
But you should know the real answer already. But I guess if you're going to pull my limb here, I think a 0 is definitely missing from that number you gave, if you know what I mean.
Are you seriously trying to tell me that we should be buying you a gift that's worth $8,000?
Yes, that's about the right amount, I'd say. But definitely feel free to spend even more if you'd like. Don't be shy, I insist. But yes, something along those lines makes a lot more sense to me.
I've never heard of wedding gifts being that expensive. You've got to be kidding me. It's ridiculous to ask us for something like this.
Well, I did say that this was an event for the elites. And this is what wealthy people usually give at weddings, so I'd say it's the normal thing to do in these circles. And besides, you should want to splurge on your in-laws' wedding day, right? It's a special day, isn't it? And we're family, so that's all the more reason to go all out for us. $8,000 is the absolute bare minimum, to be honest. It should really be more than that, but I know you two are poor, so I was letting you guys off a little easy there.
Are you serious? That much money?
Yep. So you better come to my wedding with the right amount. Famous people are also going to be coming to the wedding ceremony tomorrow, too. Don't want to embarrass yourselves by giving me a cheap gift in front of them.
Okay, I see how it is now.
Yep. Also, my husband-to-be's mother is a famous art dealer. She's so rich that she's just bursting with money. It's to the point that she doesn't know what to do with it at all. And famous artists who rarely ever appear in public will also be coming, apparently. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait.
Oh, right. I didn't realize it was going to be like that. Robert's mom really sounds amazing.
Are you shocked? Well, it's not that shocking, actually. I mean, someone as brilliant, such as myself, will only attract people who are around my level. The other reason I have to associate with you freaks is because we're bound by blood. If it wasn't for that, we would never have crossed paths.
To be honest, I don't think it really has anything to do with you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Like I said, Robert's mom really seems amazing. She's the one with all the connections.
Well, if the person you're getting married to is a sad, weedy-looking woman like your Cynthia, it's not the same story, is it?
What are you trying to say?
Well, a mother isn't exactly going to go out of her way to invite those types of rich guests if Cynthia is the bride. But for me, she knows to invite people that match my value and my worth. She's going the extra mile precisely because of how amazing I am. She would have never done that for such an ugly and pathetic girl like Cynthia.
I see. Okay, if you say so. I'm not going to argue about this. There's no point, and it's only going to exhaust me. Just know I really don't appreciate you talking about my wife like that. Sister or not.
Blah, blah, blah. We're family, so I can treat her however I want. But yes, there's no reason to argue because that is how it is. She's only inviting high-profile people for me because I deserve it. She knows I deserve nothing less than the best. So you should see the wedding gift as an entrance fee, yeah? That's the least you can pay in order to have the privilege to attend my wedding, which will be full of super important people. They're people you normally couldn't even dream of being in the same general vicinity. Unless, of course, you happen to become their janitor or something. Then maybe you could at least have a glimpse of them from time to time.
Is everyone paying such a high price just to attend this wedding? It just seems a bit over the top to me. And I'm not sure if you're just trying to extort us specifically.
Excuse you? I am not extorting anyone, let alone you two. Everyone's paying the same price, so it's only natural that you're not exempt. It's obvious. And don't be expecting any family discounts. I'm not that charitable. It's either you get me a lavish wedding gift or get the hell out.
Give you a wedding gift? It's supposed to be for the two of you, not just you alone.
Whatever. You know what I mean. And honestly, the fact that you guys are trying to get away with paying such a low price is just not okay. It's so rude. People will think that your behavior is nothing short of shameless and stingy. You'll tarnish my special day.
Well, if people are going to think like that, then sure, we'll consider bringing a more expensive gift. We wouldn't want to stand out like that. If everyone's paying around this amount, then I guess we might as well follow suit.
It's so ridiculous that I have to spell things out so plainly for you. You guys aren't very bright, are you? But I guess I can't expect anything more from a couple of high school graduates. College is what makes you smarter and actually worth something, you know? It's so unfortunate that my sister and her husband are so stupid and incompetent. I have to spell everything out to you both.
Look, you can say whatever you like to me. But again, I really don't appreciate you talking about my wife like that. That's not fair to her. She's really overjoyed that you're finally getting married, Tammy. There's no need to say such horrible things behind her back. All she wishes for you is the very best. She wants you to be happy, so the least you can do is treat her a little more nicely. She never doubts anyone. She always tries to see the best in everyone, so please don't treat her like this.
Just a poor simpleton, isn't she? She can't survive in this world like that.
Unbelievable.
What? I'm just stating facts here. But I guess I can't be too hard on her. Again, she is only a high school graduate. All she's good for is being simple and boring.
Come on now. I literally just told you to stop saying those kinds of things about her. At the very least, just keep it all inside your head. Haven't you been taught that if you have nothing nice to say, then just don't say anything at all? It's really unkind and disrespectful.
Unkind. What are you, a first grade teacher?
Well, what's wrong with acting like one when you still act like a first grader?
Excuse you! A high school graduate is not allowed to talk to me like that. I'll forbid you from coming to the wedding if you don't behave. You hear me? As for easing up on Cynthia, that all depends on tomorrow, doesn't it? You say you'll bring a more expensive gift, but I'm not convinced. Still, either way, you two better not come wearing cheap-looking clothes either because you're going to wind up sticking out like a sore thumb. Got it? If the other guests see that my relatives are poor, it's going to be extremely embarrassing. And I don't want to look back on my wedding with that kind of shameful stain on my special day.
Okay, don't worry. You don't have to keep going on about it.
Ugh. Even though it's the day before the wedding, I'm still out here having to send you all this super obvious information. Well, it's obvious to only the elite anyway. But it's super tiring and boring. This is why I hate talking to peasants. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Or maybe not. Depends on if you bring a gift. And you better not be late.
Yeah, Tammy, I understand. We'll be there on time with the gifts. Just how you want it to be.
Good. You better be.
Tammy, where are you exactly? Are you here?
No, duh, I am. I'm not the type to be late to my own wedding. Are you kidding? Anyway, what do you want?
What do you mean, what do I want? We obviously wanted to greet you.
Did you bring the wedding gift? If you have, I'll come and get them straight away.
Well, yes, we did bring that, just like you told us to.
Wait, for real? You bought something worth $8,000?
Yes. You told us we wouldn't be allowed to attend if we didn't, so we had no choice. And I wrapped it all nicely for you, just in case. Of course, I did still discuss it with Cynthia beforehand, but she seemed to understand. She didn't want to cause you any embarrassment on your special day. So she said we should do as you asked and prepare you a lavish gift. So that's what we did.
Oh, really now? You actually had that kind of money, huh? I'm kind of surprised. Or did you have to resort to robbery? How easy is it to turn to a life of crime when you have no formal education, huh? Or maybe you borrowed it from somewhere. I guess being in debt is also natural for a couple of high school graduates.
Huh? It's none of those things. It's really our money that we earned ourselves. We went to the bank this morning and withdrew the money to buy it.
Huh? Is this the money you guys were desperately saving as you lived your poor lifestyle? How sad. How are you going to eat from here on?
Wow. You really are extremely rude, aren't you? It's hard to believe that you're Cynthia's younger sister. You two are totally different.
That's right. We haven't resembled each other at all for a while now. We're two different people with two totally different lifestyles.
Yes, I can see that clear as day.
Well, I'm just being honest. What's so wrong with that? Isn't honesty supposed to be a virtue?
I'm not saying you should be lying, but there are some things that are best left unsaid.
Whatever. What's most important here is the gift. Let's talk about that instead. I'm still waiting for it. Come on, bring it to me. Quickly. I'm getting impatient, so you better hurry up already.
Well, first off, I have no idea where you are right now, so I can't exactly bring it as fast as you want me to. But second of all, I actually just wanted to ask you something. We've just gone to the reception desk at the front of the wedding venue, and they told us that there aren't any seats for us, and that we're not on the guest list at all. Has there been some kind of mistake here?
Oh, well, that's because you were never meant to have a place at my wedding to begin with. Isn't it obvious?
What?
Like I said, you'll stick out like a sore thumb here. And no amount of fancy clothes or expensive gifts will mask the vibes of poor people. You're not meant to be at my wedding. You guys have no right to have a seat in a place like this. You and my sister are a couple of poor folk. If you came, you'd just be acknowledging your own simplicity and poverty in a place of luxury. You guys would just be miserable about it. And it'd make all the other guests uncomfortable. It's a lose-lose situation for everyone, don't you think?
Well, I hadn't even thought about it like that, you know. But regardless, you promised us that if we arrived on time and brought you the gift at the price point you wanted, we'd be allowed to attend. And yet you're forbidding us anyway?
Oh? Did we sign a contract?
Huh?
I don't recall making any promises with you. Anyway, I used my best judgment and decided that you shouldn't be at our wedding before you to embarrass yourselves. So just bring me the gift and then return home as quickly as possible. It's for the best.
So, let me get this straight. Even though you're booting us from the venue and forbidding us from attending the wedding, you still want to have our gift?
Of course! Since Cynthia is my older sister, it's completely normal for her to be giving me a wedding gift without expecting anything in return.
But 4 years ago, when we got married, I'm pretty sure you didn't get us anything at all. Not that wedding gifts necessarily matter to us, but if you're going to pull that card, then I have to bring it up. Because if I remember correctly, there were no gifts to be seen from you whatsoever. If Cynthia is obligated to give you a wedding gift just because you're family, then shouldn't you have felt obligated to do the same?
Nope. It's a matter of age, not familial ties. I'm the younger sister, so I don't have the same responsibilities that she does.
But even though you're the younger sister, you're still siblings, right?
Yeah? Why are you saying such obvious things? Are you really that stupid?
Well, isn't it obvious that you should have spent money on your own sister's wedding? We didn't mind that you didn't give us anything for our wedding day because at least we'd be able to attend yours. But now you're going to accept our gift without even allowing us to step foot on the venue? That's way too selfish.
Shut up! It's the oldest sister's job to do what she can for the younger one. That's the only thing older siblings are good for, along with being the family disappointment. I'm the younger sister, so I don't have to ever consider something like giving my older sister expensive gifts for a wedding. She shouldn't expect anything from me, but I should expect everything from her.
I really, really do not get that kind of logic. It doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Well, I don't really care whether you understand it or not. If you're just that stupid, then there's no hope for you. It's really not my problem. The fact of the matter remains that there are no seats for you or my sister at our wedding, so you should get home now and get lost. I don't want the smell of shabby, simple people stinking around the entrance of the venue anyway. It'll disturb the other guests.
So you really mean to tell me that there was never any place for us at the wedding in the first place, huh? That's pretty awful behavior from you if that's the case.
Well, yes, that's how it seems now, doesn't it? Do I have to speak even more plainly for you?
If that was always the case, you should have said something when we were talking yesterday. It's not fair of you to treat us like this. We went out of our way to get you a beautiful gift at the price point you wanted. We even spent a little more than that since you were hinting at wanting us to do so. If you told us in advance about this, we wouldn't have bothered coming here in the first place. You really don't respect our time. It was a huge waste of our time and energy. It's also really rude of you.
Yes, but that's not how it works. To be honest, I'm pretty surprised that you even managed to secure the funds to get me such an expensive gift at all. I had said that to you expecting you to completely fail, so I'd have a good excuse to forbid you from coming to the wedding. Oh well. But since you did buy me a gift after all, I might as well receive it. That was the main reason I wanted you to come at all.
So you really just called us here so that you could receive our gift and then shoo us away? What nasty behavior from you. Didn't your parents teach you better than that?
Whatever. I don't want to lecture. But you're right. That's exactly why. There's no other reason I'd even want to allow you to step foot on this lovely venue. It wouldn't make sense to have you two simpletons getting mixed up with the elite. You might start accidentally letting it get to your head. I told Cynthia to bring the gift so many times, but she never brought it. She kept making excuses, saying she was busy and things like that. So I ended up also asking for a more expensive wedding gift. As I should. I should take what I deserve because I'm the younger sister. I'm entitled to everything my family can afford me.
Wow. You may just be the most selfish person I've ever met. And I've met a lot of people. Cynthia is also pretty shocked that she doesn't have a seat at your wedding. And you're really telling me that you don't care?
Nope.
It's pretty outrageous if you ask me. I'd never do that to my own sibling.
I don't care about anything you have to say, honestly. I'm about to marry into a super mega rich family, and I'll have all the money in the world to wipe my tears with. Why should I care about what you think and about what you would do? But anyway, is she actually going to bring me a gift worth $8,000? Let's see what happens. I won't believe it until I see it. If she manages to actually do it, then I'll be pretty damn impressed. For a couple of poor people, you did at least try.
So even though we've been kicked out of the venue and we don't have seats reserved for us, you still want a gift.
Such a simpleton. I already confirmed that, didn't I?
You really have some nerve to be asking us for gifts after all this. There's no way we're going to just bring you the gift and go home without even the right to attend the wedding this gift is celebrating. That's not how the world works. You should know that. You need to grow up already. You're not a little kid receiving an allowance from your mommy and daddy. You're a full-grown adult now.
Huh?
Well, if you want us to leave your wedding, then we'll just have to go home with the $8,000 gift as well. That's only fair, isn't it?
Well, you already bought it, didn't you? There's no need to bring home things that you'd already brought to the venue. It'd be a waste of time and energy.
Oh, so you suddenly care about our time and energy when it benefits you, huh? Incredible.
Besides, if you do that, I'll cut off our relationship. You, Cynthia, and I will have nothing more to say to each other for the rest of our lives. That's the one thing I can promise you.
Well, I guess that's that then, isn't it? There's nothing I can do to change the situation if that's how you really think. Cynthia may be a bit sad about it. Even with how horrible of a person you are, you're still a member of her family. But I'm totally okay about it, to be honest. I don't really care for people who treat me with such disrespect. $8,000, and I get to never have to see you again? Well, that's a steal.
Why are you saying such arrogant things as her husband? You have no right to be making those kinds of decisions. Whatever my sister brings here should be mine to keep. Let it go and stop interfering all the time before you do something you regret. Like you said, Cynthia will be sad. Even if you don't care, she will. So you just need to stop being so rude and pretentious. Just bring the gift and go on home. You're such a noisy and aggressive man. I can't stand it. You should be more meek and obedient like my David. To be honest, I have no idea what Cynthia ever saw in you that convinced her to marry you. No idea at all. You're a real pain in the backside and do nothing but cause misery.
I cause you misery, but Cynthia tells me every day that she loves me, so your words don't faze me.
Yuck.
It really doesn't matter to me whether you understand or not anyway.
Oh, whatever. I'll just make sure that I get it directly from my sister. And of course, I'll advise her to break up with a sorry excuse of a man like you. I mean, there's no way Cynthia will reject giving me the gift I deserve. And she deserves to know that she came so close to losing me as a member of her family forever. All because her husband couldn't keep his mouth shut.
Oh, so scary. Whatever shall I do?
It's bad enough that Cynthia is a high school graduate, but she never needed her husband to be one as well. That's extremely embarrassing.
If Cynthia was told to break up with me, what would I be able to say? There'd still be nothing I could do about it. I guess I'd have to do what she tells me. That's just how life works sometimes.
Huh. You really are just so admirable, aren't you? Well, if that's the case, then that'd be great. I'd love if she broke up with you, since it sounds like you wouldn't even bother putting up a fight. Your love for each other is really just that weak, huh?
If that's how you see it. Although I don't think you should be talking about love.
I'd be relieved that I wouldn't have to look you in the face ever again. I should have given my advice to Cynthia sooner. Then maybe she would have come to her senses already.
Well, I'll be going home now, since there's no place for us here. You're really okay with that, aren't you? Just wanted to double check that you don't have any problems with that.
What on earth are you blabbing about? It's already been decided. What, are you trying to stall for time? Convince me otherwise? You're not going to ever change my mind. My wedding will be better off without you two.
Okay, I guess you never know how things end up. That too is a part of life.
It's not about how things are going to end up. No matter how I look at it, I can't see how anything could go wrong now that my beautiful wedding venue will be relieved of your presence. It's fantastic! See ya!
Hey, where are you guys? It's almost time for the wedding, but I haven't even had the chance to greet you two yet. I wanted to thank you guys for coming. Come on, where are you hiding? Hi, Robert. Huh? You seem a little under the weather. Come on, let's forget our troubles and celebrate this occasion together. We really went all out on the buffet, and there's nothing but delicious food waiting for all of our guests. About that. Well, Tammy actually forbade us from attending. What? Why? She said it's because we're a couple of poor people that don't deserve to be at your wedding. She honestly said that to you? I have no reason to lie. That's unbelievable. Oh my god. She actually never put us on the guest list to begin with. What? But I thought she did. She told me so. But now that I think about it, she didn't allow me to review the list of guests we invited. She said she'd be the one to handle all of it. Yep. But doesn't she know how amazing Cynthia is? There's no way this wedding can go on without her. Unfortunately, Tammy doesn't actually care enough about Cynthia to know that about her. Wow. My mom is really not going to like this. I'd imagine. Tammy had actually told us to bring you to a wedding gift. What? You did? I wasn't told about that at all. As I expected. She really did intend to keep it all to herself. She told us to prepare a gift that was worth $8,000, or else she'd ban us from the wedding. But then she banned us anyway and only invited us to the venue so she could receive our gift and kick us out. Of course, we've already left with our gift in tow. There's no way we can reward such nasty behavior. Good God, I'm so glad I haven't gotten married to her yet. I can't believe she'd ask for so much from you two. Here, I'll reimburse you for the gift later. Oh, you don't have to. We can resell it later. No, I insist. Second-hand items never sell at the price you bought them for. I can't overlook this behavior. There's no telling how Tammy will act later on in our marriage if she really is just this selfish. For all I know, she could just be using me. Yeah, I have my doubts that she ever loved you at all. The thought of that really hurts, because I thought I loved her. But I do come from a rich family, and she seemed to love that fact about me. A lot of my previous relationships crumbled because they were so caught up in how rich my family was that they didn't see me for who I was. I really thought Tammy was different from them, but I see I was tricked once again. Man, I really feel bad for you. I feel the same way toward you. I'm so sorry you had to tolerate this sort of behavior. I'll make it up to you any way I can. First things first, though, I'm going to be informing the rest of my family about this, and we'll all be leaving or not coming at all. I think Tammy is getting changed, so by the time she gets out, the venue will probably be completely empty. Nice. I think that'd give her a huge shock. I normally don't like doing things like that, but I think she deserves to be humbled a little. Hey, how about you all have dinner at our place? It'll be our treat. Are you sure? Let's say it's a celebration of how you managed to escape a potentially doomed marriage. Wow. Yeah, sure. My mom would be thrilled to be able to see Cynthia face to face too. Cool. We have a grill too, so we can even have a barbecue or something. Nice. I was pretty bummed out, but now I'm really excited. See you all there.
Huh? What is this? Why are they not answering? Don't ignore me. You better pick up right this instant. Hey! Get on the phone already, you piece of garbage! Where are you? Come on! Call me back right now! Quickly! Reply already!
Oh boy. Why are you being like this now? What do you want? We're in the middle of eating dinner and you're disturbing us by blowing up my phone. Please, can you just relax?
You're eating? With who? Right now?
Haven't you looked at the time? It's right around dinner time. Of course we're eating right now. But if you have to be so nosy, I'm having dinner with Cynthia, your mom, dad, and relatives. Oh, and the groom's mom is also here, and she's such a nice lady. We're having the time of our lives, to be honest, and the food is delicious. Your dad brought out the grill and made burgers for everyone. We didn't have any mustard, though, so Cynthia had to go out and fetch it from the store. But it's all been a great time.
Huh? I don't understand what's happening. They're supposed to be at my wedding ceremony. So what the hell are they doing munching on burgers with you people? I knew that you and Cynthia went home, but I didn't think you meant that everyone else would too. It wasn't meant to be like this. What is going on? I don't get it. Explain to me why everyone is eating dinner at your place when they're supposed to be at my wedding.
Well, yeah. You kicked Cynthia out of your wedding. What else did you expect? Your behavior was pretty ruthless. I even warned you and gave you a second chance to reconsider, but you held firm to your stupid decision.
What are you talking about? What stupid decision? It's my wedding today, and I can dictate how I want it to go. What are you all even doing? They aren't supposed to be at your house, so what are they doing there? They got the wrong directions to the wedding venue or something? Did you trick them? Because none of this should have anything to do with my sister being here or not. So why are you acting like she's such a big and important part of it? I never meant for her to be here in the first place.
Well, Cynthia isn't just your older sister.
What on earth are you talking about? Of course she is.
Well, she was also one of today's high-profile guest artists. You know, the ones you bragged about, where you said that high-profile artists who rarely are seen in public were going to be attending.
Excuse me? Is this some sort of prank? Are you trying to get back at me? Mom and Dad aren't picking up the phone.
Of course not. They're busy eating burgers. They have no time to talk to such an inconsiderate, overgrown child like you.
Cynthia isn't picking up either. No one is answering the phone. Why?
I think you made a great achievement.
What are you even talking about?
Cynthia is usually such a mild-mannered and gentle woman, yet you've angered her to the point that even she doesn't want to talk to you. Why would she talk to someone who insults her husband and demands luxurious, expensive gifts to celebrate weddings the givers aren't even allowed to attend?
Are you making fun of me?
After how you've thoroughly made fun of us, am I not allowed to do the same?
No, you absolutely are not. I didn't give you permission. Just explain to me what's going on. Stop wasting my time already and give it to me straight. Who is this special guest?
Well, your mother-in-law might have mentioned this to you. You are so obsessed with hanging around artists and high-profile guests. Well, you got what you wanted, because Cynthia, a high-profile artist, was going to be attending your wedding.
Are you still trying to convince me of something as stupid as that? There's no way that's true. What kind of an idiot do you take me for?
Well, Cynthia doesn't like being in front of lots of people, which is why you wouldn't have known. She's always refused interviews in the press, and she hasn't really spoken to many people about her career. It helps her live a peaceful life where she can work on her career without the fear that she'll be constantly watched in public. A smart idea, if you ask me. I'd probably do the same with her talent. So it's normal that you wouldn't know. Not much you could have done about that.
No, seriously. What are you even going on about? Cynthia just does some useless factory work, doesn't she? That's the last I've heard of what she's been doing with her miserable life. I mean, she's a high school graduate, so there's no way her circumstances could have changed so drastically like that.
Yes, it is true that when she graduated high school, she started working at a factory. That was to support your mother who was sick. But during this whole time, she's always been painting. You knew that, right? She's always been an aspiring artist.
Yes, I do remember that she used to draw these stupid doodles when she was a kid in the back of a notebook. Kids used to make fun of them, and I'd spread rumors about her so they'd torment her more. I heard they've even thrown her notebook into the school fountain a couple of times. It was so hilarious.
Wow. You really are a piece of work. Most people would want to try and defend their siblings, not make their school life even worse for them.
There's no way someone like that could have become a legitimate artist. I mean, you're honestly trying to say that these drawings of hers are actually selling? Like, people are actually spending their hard-earned money on her and her stupid paintings.
Hey, if people are paying for them, then they aren't really stupid now, are they? Well, anyway, I've always thought she was super talented, but she struggled to build up an audience, so I offered to use my platform for her. And when I put her paintings up on the internet, they got quite a lot of attention. I've always believed in her, but it happened so fast that even I was shocked. And then 3 years ago, they caught the eye of an art dealer and... well, I guess you can say that the rest is history, huh? Point is, she's now an extremely accomplished and high-profile artist, and she was supposed to be attending your wedding, which would have been a great honor. By the way, the art dealer himself isn't a complete stranger to you. Can you hazard a guess?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I guess you probably haven't seen her too many times, but she's definitely not a stranger by any means. And she's super rich, with way more money than she knows what to do with. Well, does that ring any bells, Tammy?
No way. It can't be who I think it is, right?
Whatever you're thinking right now is almost certainly the correct answer. Man, it really is a small world. Coincidences like this really can just happen. It's true. The art dealer who decided to support Cynthia's art career was none other than Rose, your husband's filthy rich mother. Crazy, isn't it? Life works in such mysterious ways. Even I can hardly believe it.
Did you know this entire time?
Yeah.
So why didn't you tell me any of this until now?
Well, you saw us as nothing more than a pair of shabby, poor simpletons, right? That's what you kept calling us, right? You never came by our house to say hi either, so that's even more the reason you didn't know. Like I said, she keeps her head down and doesn't discuss her career much with others. But we didn't necessarily purposefully hide it from you. You were always welcome to our house, yet you never came. If you had visited, you would have seen the artist studio, and you would have known straight away what Cynthia was up to. It's a shame you never dropped by. Otherwise, this wouldn't have been such a nasty surprise for you.
So how about our mom and dad? They knew about Cynthia too?
Of course they did. Unlike you, they like to actually keep up to date with their families' lives. Just like me, they've always believed in her too. And when her paintings finally started to sell, they were delighted for her. They were so happy that she could finally get her big break as an artist. God knows how difficult that is these days.
Well, why didn't they say anything to me about it? Rude much?
Cynthia said it wasn't necessary to go out of our way to tell you about all this. She's not the type of girl who likes to boast about her successes, and she's a bit shy. She does post TikToks of her painting progress from time to time and occasionally accepts sponsorships, but she never shows her face.
Okay, but I still don't understand why no one told me anything.
Well, it's to do with the people around the neighborhood.
Excuse me? What do they have to do with anything?
Well, remember how I said that Cynthia would rather have a career that allows her to be as anonymous as possible?
Which is stupid, but go on.
Exactly. You have that kind of mindset, and that's a problem to her. It conflicts with what she wants, which is to be able to greet all her neighbors normally and have the same relationship she's always had with them. The moment they realize she's a big-name artist, they won't be able to interact normally with her anymore. She uses an alias, and she doesn't ever let them see her studio. But if you'd known about her illustrious career, you'd be boasting about it straight away to literally everyone you cross paths with. Isn't that right?
Of course it's right. I don't understand your stupid mindset of wanting to stay humble or whatever. Does she think she's better for it?
Well, if you had gone around boasting about her success to everyone, then the press and journalists would be flocking around the house. It's not that Cynthia believes she's better than everyone else. It's just that she prefers to have her peace and quiet. And I firmly agree. As a married couple, even though I'm not the famous one here, if word got out that she was a renowned artist, that'd intrude on our private life and make it harder for us to exist as normal people.
Again, I'm saying that's stupid. If you can't brag about things that you're able to brag about, then what's the point in anything? Why even bother getting famous? She doesn't deserve that fame if she isn't going to use it. You should have never bothered putting her art up on social media. She should have stayed an underground artist forever.
It's kind of incredible how good you were at acting all friendly and kissing up to Rose, huh? You almost had them all thinking you were an actually good person. You had Robert fooled as well. I was talking to Rose once, and when she called you a humble young woman, I really did wonder who in the world she was talking to, because her son was about to marry the least humble woman in the entire world.
I didn't fool anyone.
Well, now you aren't, at least. You couldn't hold back your true self for long. But it's amazing. To an extent, you are aware that you're not a humble person in the slightest, and that'd be off-putting to anyone else. That's why you apparently hid it. But in the end, your true self really is that of a terrible, young, and rude, selfish woman who only cares about money and nothing else. And that came out at the day of your own wedding ceremony. What a shame. Robert would have been absolutely miserable with someone like you. He really dodged a bullet. He even said so to me himself. But as for you, it's a major loss.
What do you mean? Of course he's still going to marry me.
Dream on.
So what then? What's going to happen to our wedding? We were already in the middle of it and everything.
Well, do the math. No one else is really there anymore, right? So why don't you use that super smart brain of yours that put yourself through college and guess what's going to happen next?
No, it can't be canceled.
I mean, you can't exactly have a wedding when you have no one to wed, can you?
I'm trying to get a hold of him, but he just won't answer my calls. What is this? What was all that time I spent with him for if it had just ended up like this? I put so much time and effort into snagging a catch like him, only for him to treat me this way? It's unbelievable!
No, what's really unbelievable here is your shocking behavior. It appalled Robert when he found out who you really were. And it seems that my assumptions were correct. You didn't actually want to marry him for love. You were probably after his money and status.
Of course! What else is there? Why wouldn't you marry unless it's to marry a filthy rich man?
It's too bad you lost him then. You had an older sister who's looked after you so much, who's made countless sacrifices to give you the kind of life you had the privilege of living. Robert is very aware of what your sister has done for you. But now that he knows how you really treat your own family, even someone who sacrificed so much just for you, he realized he couldn't stay with you anymore.
So that's it, huh? This means that the wedding is going to be canceled or something?
Did you really think that you'd still be getting married in this kind of situation? Your engagement is definitely going to be called off now after all this.
Called off? Are you being serious right now? Please say psych.
Well, I thought that since you had announced the wedding news, you would have been a bit more humble now. I thought that you would also take more care to look after your husband-to-be. But actually, nothing changed at all. To be expected, I guess. People like you can't be changed overnight. We understood this good and well leading up to the wedding with the way you demanded expensive gifts from us. It's a good thing for Rose's son that you two won't be getting married and reaping the spoils of your terrible behavior.
This is a disaster. I can't believe this is happening. This is all your fault.
Oh, pointing fingers now, are we? We've done nothing wrong.
No, you've done everything wrong. Why do you want to get in the way of my happiness so bad? Are you jealous of me? Is that it? Is that why you want to ruin my life?
Hey, we're not the ones getting in the way of everything, so don't accuse us of something like that. This is something you asked for.
Huh?
In order to celebrate your marriage, Cynthia had actually prepared something really nice for you. She had painted a beautiful picture to bring to you. It's a shame that you can't see it anymore, though.
Picture?
Yeah, but it was a complete waste of time and effort. The things of ours that you just love wasting. And we were wondering what to do with it. But then Rose actually offered to buy it from us. For $100,000. Isn't that amazing? We were so lucky. I guess if life gives you lemons, you make lemonade.
No way. You gotta be kidding me. You sure you didn't accidentally add an extra zero somewhere in there?
Nope. I'm being serious. She really did pay that much for it.
But it's just a stupid drawing!
But she found value in it. Anyway, because she created so many problems for us, Cynthia actually sold the painting for a bargain to her.
What are you talking about? In what world is $100,000 a bargain?
Well, it's a reasonably sized painting, so it'd usually sell for something higher. Like $330,000. Around that ballpark.
Are her paintings seriously selling for those kinds of crazy prices? I can't believe it. You could get a perfectly good piece of art for free using one of those fancy AI generators.
So you're one of those terrible people who don't appreciate the soul of the person who creates the art you consume. Fortunately for us and humanity, there's still plenty of people out there who appreciate art made by actual humans. And we're lucky that Cynthia is just so talented. Well, I guess I can't actually call it pure luck. I know she spent years honing her skills until it all paid off within the past few years.
You should have told me about all this. You guys are the bad guys for keeping this a secret from me. This was so disrespectful of you all.
You're one to talk. You told us that you didn't want any shabby simpletons around you, right? That's what you said, isn't it? But you conveniently forget you said something like that to us the moment you realize that we have money in the bank. That's the only time you decide to acknowledge our existence and talk to us. How arrogant are you? It's actually crazy how vain and pretentious you are. We don't want to be associated with people like that.
Hey, don't say things like that. You better make sure Rose has my back. There's no way our wedding is going to be canceled. It's going to proceed exactly as scheduled. I'm sure of it.
Wow, now that's some good coping if I ever saw it.
I'm not coping!
You must be delusional if you really think that your wedding is going to go the way you planned.
But if you don't come to the wedding, how am I supposed to face going to work tomorrow? My colleagues from work and my boss were meant to be coming to my wedding today as well. It's going to be so embarrassing at work tomorrow if the wedding doesn't proceed as scheduled. Especially since I was right on the verge of getting a raise. This is going to ruin my chances of getting one.
Well, I guess that you're just going to have to get over that and make peace with the fact that your selfish actions cost you that opportunity. It's kind of what you deserve, if you ask me.
No one asked you anything. And what about a place to live? Rose has been helping us out with our rent, but I'll have nowhere to go if I'm kicked out. We ended up signing a lease to rent a super expensive apartment. If I have to move out, then I want to rent an apartment of an equally high value. But I can't do that without financial help. Please, I don't want to go back and live in Mom and Dad's shabby rundown house. An elite like me has no business there.
Well, it's not like you have that choice anyway.
What do you mean?
Your parents' house doesn't exist anymore.
Huh? Why not?
Well, your parents will be living with Cynthia and me now. That's been decided.
Are you serious?
Well, you had already left the family house as well, so it was decided that the best thing to do would be to sell it as no one else was using it anymore.
What are you saying? No one has told me anything about this. This is news to me.
Well, your mom did tell you this in passing before, but I guess you weren't listening. I'm not particularly surprised about that, though. It's very typical of you.
But no, seriously. I don't remember this discussion ever taking place whatsoever.
Well, you were going to get married to a rich man anyway, so as I said, you weren't really listening to anything that the people around you were saying. You couldn't be bothered to care. I remember that you said that you just couldn't wait to get out of that shabby, run-down house. You were over the moon about leaving your parents' house that you didn't listen at all to what your mom was saying to you. Because her words were beneath you.
I really don't remember this conversation at all. Are you sure this happened?
What, you really don't remember calling the house you grew up in shabby?
I mean, yes, but I didn't mean it. It was just a joke, I swear.
You said that your new place was in a really wealthy and luxurious neighborhood. And your mom said you seemed to be more than happy to leave and go there instead. But I guess she did seem a bit sad about everything, you know?
Huh? Really? She was sad that I was leaving the family house? I get that.
No, you idiot. That wasn't what she was sad about at all.
Huh? Then what else could she have possibly been sad about? I mean, I'm her daughter. Of course she should be sad that I'd be leaving her.
Nah, she was mostly sad that you said such nasty things about the home she put so much love and effort into. It was really rude of you to be so harsh like that. What's wrong with you? How do you not understand how mean and rude you are to people?
Well, what does this all mean then? Where can I go and live after all this? I don't want to be homeless.
Like I've been saying over and over again, but you're a grown adult now, so I'm sure you won't have to rely on others to find a place, right? That's just your responsibility as a working member of society. I'm sure you can find somewhere for yourself. That's the least you could do, right?
But if I have to actually pay to live somewhere, I won't have any money to spare. Things are going to be really tight. I won't be able to spend money on anything fun, and I won't have any freedom. And I can't cook or clean or anything, so I'll have to live off of convenience store food while letting all the dirt and grime pile up in my house. That's no way for an elite such as myself to live.
Well, I guess that you're going to have to get used to the fact that you're going to be no better than a peasant from now on, huh?
No!
It's going to be something that you'll have to be sorting out yourself. It'll have nothing to do with Cynthia nor me. But more importantly, have you considered who'll be the one to pay for this failed wedding? Because do you honestly think Rose will be paying a single penny for it? If I were you, I'd be a little more worried about that.
Huh? What are you talking about? She's supposed to be paying for this wedding ceremony. That's obvious.
Well, this situation has come about as a result of your idiocy, selfishness, and rude behavior. So why do you think she'd still be willing to pay for your wedding? Instead, she said that she intends to have you foot the bill yourself.
Huh? What a mean and stingy old hag! What's a few several $1,000s to someone as rich as her? I don't have that kind of money, so of course she should be paying for all this.
Come on, Tammy. You have literally not contributed even a single cent to anything. What do you expect? If you think about it like that, I think it's totally reasonable that you should pay that amount. In life, you can't always just take. You need to learn that you have to give sometimes as well. And this is the least you could do, considering the way you've been behaving toward everyone. You've been treating them like garbage, and yet you expect to be let off scot-free while everyone else picks up your mess? I don't think so.
Well, if you've got parents around, then why shouldn't they be the ones paying for things? Sure, Mom used to be sick, but she's better now. So she's working and full of energy. And my stepdad is too. If Rose doesn't want to pay for it, then my parents could both be paying for it instead. Not me.
But Cynthia was the one who supported your mom when she was ill.
Again, that's the duty of the eldest sister. That's the reality. Everyone knows that. You can't expect the youngest child to be taking care of anything.
People are getting sick and tired of your terrible behavior, and we won't continue tolerating it any longer. So don't expect anyone to be helping you out anymore. You don't deserve it.
Huh? What are you going on about now?
Well, you're being cut off now. Your parents will be disowning you too. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So just go and live where you want and leave us all alone. You have nothing to do with us anymore.
What?
Yep, that's what's going to happen. That's just life sometimes.
Hey, wait, come on, David. Ask Cynthia to help me out for a while, please. Tell her I'm sorry for how I treated her. I always knew she was the type of girl that would succeed. I always knew she was so talented and ambitious.
What are those barefaced lies? You really do have some nerve to suddenly be acting like this.
I'm serious. I'm telling the truth. I really have always respected Cynthia. She's my older sister. How could I not? I thought it was just obvious, so I didn't say anything. That's all.
Well, whether or not that's true, it's a bit too late now.
No way. No, it's never too late.
No, I think it is. You even managed to make Cynthia mad, which is quite the accomplishment. One that you never want to achieve. She's so patient and mild-mannered most of the time. But no matter how much you cry and beg, there's no way that you're going to be getting any help from her. So yeah, have a nice life.
Hey, wait. Please. Why aren't you listening to me? Hey, don't ignore me! Don't leave me like this! I don't know how I'm going to live from now on! Please, David! I'm begging you! Help me!
So, the funny thing about this whole incident is that it turned out that Tammy was in a lot of debt this entire time. She had been lying this whole time because she didn't want to admit that all her credentials have actually been useless, and her job doesn't actually pay her that much at all. So she was relying on Robert to buy her lavish gifts. And when he didn't, she went and spent outside her means buying all the luxury brand items she wanted and gambling to her heart's content. So her credit score was absolutely terrible. She wanted to marry Robert for his looks, money, and status. She was counting on him to get her out of all the debt she was in. He really dodged a bullet, didn't he? Anyway, canceling a wedding doesn't come for free, so that tacked on even more debt for her. I mean, no one else was going to do it. She's lucky that the two of them hadn't actually gotten married because he might have sought alimony from her, or just straight up sued her. The worst Robert did was ask for her to reimburse him for the money he had spent for her ring. She already had enough on her plate as it was. Also, she essentially became homeless. The two of them had been living together up until this point, and Robert had been paying for the two of them to live in a lavish high-rise condo that overlooked a beautiful beach. Of course, she could kiss that goodbye because he made her pack up her bags and leave. She started having to live in hotels because no one was willing to let her stay with them. I mean, she was too selfish and prideful, and that's what got her wedding canceled. Who in their right mind would want to help someone like that? It did seem to be true that Tammy had been on the verge of a promotion, but that went down the toilet once it became known at her workplace that her wedding had been canceled for her terrible behavior. People started to treat her coldly and keep her at a distance. They saw her for who she truly was, a shallow woman who put money before family. But since she was in so much debt, she couldn't just quit her job. Even if it didn't pay that well, trying to find a better paying one was too risky. So she had no other choice than to stick with her current company. So she continued to work while people made nasty comments about her behind her back. She must be suffering a lot at work. And at home, too, because her hotel stays immediately drained any money she earned. She had to take on a part-time job in the evenings, but that was still barely enough to get by. She'd call us many times begging us to help her out, but it got super annoying after a while, so we blocked her number. Cynthia seemed just a little bit sad, but I didn't feel bad about it whatsoever. My wife's career as an artist was also supported by Rose, who helped her open up her first solo exhibition. It was a storming success. Cynthia's parents were delighted for us and continued to cheer on her successes. They were so happy that she'd finally gotten her big break as an artist. I want to keep supporting her and her work and make sure that our family lives in harmony from now on. I'm glad all this drama has passed, and we can finally have some peace and quiet again.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more content. See you later.